So today we are going to go ahead and we're crocheting this beautiful bowl that holds these gorgeous sunflower coasters. This is part 2 of a 2-part series because the first one, the part 2, we crocheted these sunflower coasters, and if you ended up clicking on this one first, then there's a link in the description of this video for you to go ahead and go over and click to this tutorial as well. So with that being said, let's not waste any time and go right on over and crochet this beautiful bowl. You're not going to believe what I did. I just went ahead and I went through that whole tutorial. At the very end, when I was shutting off my camera, I realized I didn't turn on my microphone. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attempt a voiceover for this tutorial that you're about to view. I'm hoping that it's going to come out just as good as when I end up using the microphone. But bear with me because I don't usually do voiceovers. Here we go. So what we're going to be using today is this green Red Heart Super Saver yarn in the color Thyme. And then we are going to be needing a size 0.4mm hook, a yarn needle, and a pair of scissors. Set those aside. Okay. So we are going to begin with a magic ring as soon as I can find my end here. Chain 1. I'm going to pull my ring closed just a little bit, and I'm going to chain 2 more for a total of 3 chains. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to double crochet 15 double crochets into the magic circle. The chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops on the hook. Let's do that again. Yarn over, insert your hook into the magic ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. Now that is 3 double crochets that we have so far. We're going to go ahead and we're going to continue making double crochets. So that's 5, 6, 7, and that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to count just to make sure that we have all 16. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to slip stitch at the top of the first double crochet. And let's go ahead and tighten up this magic ring. Give it a good pull. Make sure it's closed. Okay, and to make sure that it doesn't open up again, we're going to go ahead and weave in our end now. Thread your yarn needle and just weave your hook underneath the bottom of the double crochets that we just inserted into the ring. Pull that through and do a few more. Pull that through. And then we're going to turn it and we're going to go back the other way. Make sure that you skip that very first one that the yarn's coming out of. And go the opposite direction at the bottom of those double crochets. And kind of go upward a little bit. And pull that through. And then cut off that tail. Now that ring isn't going to come open at all. It's nice and secure. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to chain 3. And then we are going to double crochet in the same space as the chain 3. And that's an increase. Now in the next stitch we are going to double crochet 2 as an increase, and in the next stitch double crochet 2, in the next stitch double crochet 2, we're going to continue that in each stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you at the other end when you're finished. Okay, so now we have 1 stitch left, and we are going to double crochet in that stitch just before that chain 3. And then we're going to double crochet in that same stitch, and that's our last increase. And slip stitch into the top of the double crochet. All right, so let's go ahead and count. We should have 16 pairs of double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and we are going to chain 3, and then we're going to double crochet in the same space as the chain 3, and then in the next stitch we are going to double crochet, and then in the next stitch 2 double crochets as an increase. And then in the next stitch 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch 2 double crochet increase, and we are going to continue that all the way around to the other end, and I will meet you there when you're finished. Okay, so for round 4 we are going to go ahead and chain 3 and double crochet in the same space as a chain 3, and then in the next 2 stitches we're going to double crochet 1. So that's 1 double crochet and then 1 double crochet. Now in the next stitch we are going to do a 2 double crochet increase. So that's 1 and 2. Again, in the next 2 stitches, 1 double crochet in each of those stitches, and then in the next stitch a 2 double crochet increase. Okay, so now you can see that there is an increase, and then there's 2 double crochets, increase, 2 double crochets, increase, and you're going to continue that sequence all the way around, and I'll go ahead and I'll meet you at the other end. Okay, so I am at the end. I have 3 stitches left here, and we ended up with the last 2 double crochets. Now we're doing a 2 double crochet increase in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 double crochet in the last stitch, and join with a slip stitch to the top of that first double crochet. And there we have 4 rows. Now for the 5th row, we are going to be crocheting clusters around. So we're going to start with a chain 3. Now this first cluster is going to be a little bit different than all of the other clusters around because of this chain 3 that we started with as 1 double crochet. Okay, so for this first cluster, we are going to go ahead and we're going to double crochet. So yarn over and insert your hook into the same space as that chain 3, but only yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then don't finish the double crochet. Yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over and only pull through 2, and then yarn over and pull through those 3 and chain 1. Okay, so the next cluster is going to be a little bit different, so don't really pay attention to that first cluster. Okay, you'll see why. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip a stitch and go into the next stitch. Okay, now yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through only 2. Repeat it one more time, yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 4 of those loops and chain 1. Now you can see that that second cluster was a little bit different than that first cluster because of that chain. So let's go ahead and skip a stitch and then crochet another cluster. Pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook into the same stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over through 2, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and chain 1. Okay, so you are going to continue that sequence all the way around, skip a stitch and do a cluster, and I'll meet you at the other end. All right, so I have 3 stitches here. We're going to skip 1 stitch and we're going to do our last cluster into that center stitch. Pull through all 4, chain 1, and join with a slip stitch to the top of the first cluster, that big stitch right there, and do a slip stitch. Now our bowl is starting to form. You can see that it's starting to curl up a little bit. Now for the next row, we are going to go ahead and chain 3. Then we are going to double crochet in the chain 1 space between the 2 clusters. And then we're going to double crochet into the top of the cluster, that long stitch right there, not that little one, but the first one, right on the top of the cluster. You're going to double crochet, double crochet, and then double crochet in the chain 1 space, double crochet in the top of the cluster, and in the chain 1 space, top of the cluster, chain 1 space. Now, if you're enjoying this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified of upcoming videos. All right, so we're just going to continue with a double crochet in the top of the cluster and then in the chain 1 space. And we're just going to continue that all the way around, and then I will meet you back here at the end. All right, so we're at the end, and we are going to double crochet in this last chain 1 space right here between these clusters. And then we are going to join with a slip stitch to the top of this chain 3. Okay, so you can see that our bowl is forming nicely, but it's still a little shallow. If you are going to put your coasters inside of this bowl, it's not going to be deep enough for all of the coasters. So now what we want to do is crochet another row of the clusters and then another row of the double crochets in the chain 1 space and on top of each cluster. So let's go ahead and start that next row of clusters. We're going to chain 3. And remember that this first cluster is a little different than the rest, so you're going to do 2 partial double crochets and then pull through the 3 loops and chain 1. And then you're going to skip a stitch, and you are going to start a double crochet into the next stitch, but only pull through 2 loops, and then start another double crochet in the same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Do that one more time, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then yarn over, pull through all 4 loops on the hook, chain 1, skip a stitch, do the same thing, crocheting another cluster, one more, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops and chain 1, and skip a stitch, crochet another cluster, and we're just going to repeat this sequence all the way around once again. Now, if you happen to click on this video first before the tutorial for the sunflower coasters, there will be a link in the description box below this video. Just click on it and it'll bring you right over to the sunflower coaster tutorial. All right, so cluster in this last stitch. Pull through all 4, chain 1, and then let's slip stitch to the top of the cluster. Okay, there we go, we're getting deeper and deeper. Now we are going to repeat the row after the clusters again, so we're going to chain 3, and then we are going to double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then double crochet in the top of the cluster, in the bigger part of the cluster, double crochet in the chain 1 space and on top of the cluster, and we are just going to continue the same thing again for this row all the way around. And then we will meet at the end, and I will tell you what to do for the last row. Okay, I have one last double crochet in this chain 1 space, and then we are going to slip stitch at the top of this chain 3 to join. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. Now we have a nice deep bowl that will fit our sunflower coasters in nicely. Okay, so we are going to chain 1 and then we are going to just single crochet in this next stitch, and then single crochet each stitch all the way around. And that's all we're doing to just create a nice little border all the way around this bowl. So just single crochet in each stitch all the way around. And then I know that a lot of you are just probably gonna leave at this point, because you know at this point that after this row you're done and you just have to weave in your end. So I just want to say thank you for joining me for all of my videos, and thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate you guys so much. So go ahead and complete this row, and if you want to stick around, which I hope you do, I will meet you at the end to say my goodbyes. Alright, so I'm at the end of this final row, and I'm going to single crochet in the last 2 stitches and then join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch and chain 1, and then cut your yarn and pull through. And then we're going to go ahead and thread our yarn needle. And we are going to make sure that our bowl is right side out. You definitely can tell which is in the inside. So we are going to weave our ends on the inside and just weave on down through, grabbing some stitches. Doesn't matter what stitch it is that you grab, and pull that through. And then kind of go off to the side a little bit, and then back in the other direction. And this is gonna just make it nice and secure so that it doesn't end up coming apart and unraveling in any way. All right, so there we go. There we have our beautiful bowl that will hold our 6 sunflower coasters. Yeah, look at that. That's perfect. Yeah. What I like to do is tuck in the first 5 and then just kind of like sit the 6th one on top a little bit. And don't tuck it in. There you go. There is your sunflower coaster bowl. Thank you so much for being with me today. Till next time. Bye.